Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. This is going to be a little video, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably wondering what in the hell is going on here. So I'm just going to do a quick little rundown on the 14 power NL versus the 15 power SLC. My initial thoughts, it's just kind of a redneck review. Rockslide will have a full review. Matt Cashels does have a pair of these in his hands as well. But this will just be my initial redneck thoughts after using them. I think today was my 5th or 6th day scouting with them. So got some time on them. Just a real quick shout out. Thank you to Kent's Optics in Tremont, Utah. Dave has always hooked me up. If you guys really do want the best prices, like nobody will beat their prices, I can guarantee. If you find somebody that does, let me know. But you're not going to find anybody. It's Kent's Optics in Tremont, Utah. I can't say enough. I think I got one of the first pairs that got released to kind of the general public. That's what I am. I'm not really anybody. I'm just a member of the general public that has a bad Swarovski addiction, and they always hook me up. So anyways, I have got to put quite a bit of time behind them in comparison to the 15. So for the Western hunter, I think there are a couple like leaders in like long range glassing, or fairly high distance glassing. The 15 by 56 has been a standard, especially Swarovski. They have just been around for a long time. They've made a few improvements to those, and this pair is a newer pair. I think it's 3 years old, so it's the latest version. Basically is a step up from like the ones that were around in like the early 2000s, if you compare them side by side. However, to look through this new 14 NL is mind-blowing. Now, if you have had a chance to look through the standard, like the 10s or 12 NLs, you already know like the field of view, the ergonomics, it's just mind-blowing. And I had got the 10s. I had one of the first pairs of them, and I remember the first time I looked through them, I was just blown away. And generally when I try optics, I'm not really all that blown away. I mean, you get these small progressions, the ELs, they're great. Try some of the different brands, they're good. But when I first looked through those NLs, my mind was blown. It was like the first time that I had ever looked through like a alpha glass back in the early 2000s. I was just blown away when you were comparing it to just, cheap $300-400 binoculars. Mind blown, just crazy. It's hard to explain. If you have not looked through them, I highly recommend it. I got that exact same reaction when I looked through the 14s. In fact, it was almost, it was better. I'm gonna say this, they are the best binoculars I have ever looked through in my life. I have now had a few different buddies try these. All of them said the same thing, like mind blowing. It's hard to explain the color pop, the field of view. Everything is just there, like the clarity, it's just next level. I did recently get the Outdoorsman stud, so I'm going to give you guys some weight, some differences that I noticed. It's hard to explain how great they are on your eyes until you look through them, but I'm going to say I'm just blown away. I really cannot believe it. These both have the Outdoorsman stud installed on them. They both have caps, both front and back. It's just how I like to keep my optics perfect. So they're always capped up, and I like to know what they're gonna weigh going into my pack. So just a couple differences. Height. So you're gonna save a 1/2 inch in height. So these are 7 3/4 inches tall versus 7 1/4 inches tall. The barrel's collapsed. The NL is going to be 4 3/4 inches wide. The SLC is 5 1/4 inches wide. Weight overall as they sit right there. So 14, 2 pounds, 6.8 ounces. The 15, 2 pounds, 13.2 ounces. So there's a fairly big savings, but it maybe wasn't quite as big as I thought. And if you kind of just compare, you can kind of see that difference in the objective, 56 versus 52, obviously. One thing I wanted to mention, and this was very important to me. So if you're going to put your binoculars in a pack, which you should, so using marsupial gear fully enclosed, I can get the 14s in a medium, so they fit right in there, no problem. Will not do that with the 15 by 56. Those two binoculars in their respective cases, that's really what I want to know with objective lens on them, like how I'm going to pack them, how much it's going to weigh. You are 3 pounds 2 ounces in a medium fully enclosed marsupial, and the SLC is 3 pounds 10 ounces in the pack. So hopefully that kind of gives you so roughly 8 ounces exactly of savings going down to these. Just to compare them, so this is a pair of the 10s by 42s. So you can see there's quite a bit of difference there. But these things are unreal. The best binoculars I've ever looked through. I hope everybody gets a chance to look through them. It's mind-blowing. I really can't say enough. The color pop, the field of view, the clarity, low light. This was my biggest question as I was like, okay, so we're going to go down to the 52 versus a 56. It's fairly big difference. These walk all over. Like I was looking at a buck, super low light, about 20 minutes before the sun came up at well over 1,000 yards. The difference, like going back between the two of them, was unreal. Like I could see so much better. These feel like, this is another weird thing, is they're calling these 14s. They're actually supposedly like 14 and a half. I've heard like 14.7 power. I have no idea. All I know is the way that color, ergonomically, whatever it might be, they feel like they are more than the 15. Like it's really hard to explain. I have no idea exactly how they do it. I thought the same thing with the 10 by 42s. Like they just feel unbelievable. And that field of view, for me, is so important. Like catching movement as you're scanning in the mornings, it's so important to have that big field of view, and these give it to you. It's just unbelievable. I can't say enough. That's really all I'm going to say. Matt Cashels on Rockslide, he'll do a full in-depth, I guarantee it, he always nails it, a really good solid review on specific specs, everything else. So when that comes up, I'll try to throw a link in here, but I really hope you guys get a chance to look through these, because it's just a next level viewing experience. It's just, I guess I'm pretty excited about it. I can't say enough. Like my mind is blown about it, and probably will continue to be for the rest of the season, because every time I pull them out, I'm just like, this is unbelievable. So anyways, I hope that helps. I know there were some questions, and I haven't really, I'm sure there's probably some reviews, but I haven't really heard from anybody like in comparison. So those are my redneck thoughts on it. So hopefully that helps you.